What is going on to you, crew? Welcome back to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We are up to episode 24 now. Last episode was the Jordan episode. This is the Kobe episode, and we're super excited to get into it this time. How are we doing today, boys?
Rough. Yeah, it's my friend's birthday. But I just got home from a 5-hour long soccer match, boys. In this match, 5 hours. I was there at 2:30. Okay. 2:30, the game starts, okay? In the first half, guy on the opposite team. If you don't know, by the way, I go to Oswego State. I'm sure nobody's listening has ever heard of that. All right. So first half, a guy on the opposing team breaks his arm in half, right? Snapped, clean, dislocated elbow right on the field. And I'm doing camera work, right? We stop our production for 40 minutes. 40 minutes because police are coming, ambulances are coming, everybody's trying. I don't know what the hell is going on. This guy is just limp on the ground. I hope he's doing okay now if he's listening to this or whatever, but that was crazy. Second half comes. We have one of our players and one of the opposing players' heads collide. The opposing player's head is cut wide open, bleeding everywhere on the ground. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. We go into double overtime. Nobody scored. Oswego State does not have a shot on goal. And we get to literally the final minute before this game is going to end up a tie. And Oswego kicks the game-winning goal. And I was pissed because why couldn't that happen any other time in the game? But that's just like my little story for my little rant at the beginning of the episode. That's it.
So how are you, Jake?
I'm doing a whole lot better than that. I'll say that much.
All right, guys, and that is the podcast.
That's it. Thank you so much. We can't top that. That's the best content you're gonna get all day.
Yep.
I had a rough night yesterday too, but not that rough. So I can't. Jesus, this is like trying to follow up Beyonce in a concert. Like you just can't do it. Like you just set the standard way too high. But I guess we'll get into it a little later. How my couple days have gone.
All right, guys. And remember, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or if you're watching us on YouTube and seeing our beautiful faces, we very much appreciate that. And we would also appreciate if you guys would rate and review us and leave a like on the video. It means a ton, helps us out a lot. And as always, we started off with a Guess That Player. My win streak is going to have to go on pause for right now because I'm presenting it this time around.
Thank goodness you were getting hot. You were too hot.
I know. We needed this. We need to ice the kicker a little bit here. Take that time.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah,
Jake. You need this one. Luke's pulling out ahead.
I do.
What's the bad? It's 11 to 9 to 3.
11 to 2. 3.
To 2? Yeah, it's the 3.
It's 3. Yeah, you got 2 in a row. Yeah.
Look at that.
Right. All right, boys. He went to USC.
Sam Darnold.
I will say, no. This one is, I would say it's easy, but I think you guys will psych yourselves out. He was a second-round pick in 2013.
13. Oh, shit. That's way back.
It is a skill position player.
Robert Woods.
Yes, it is Robert.
Yes.
Woods. I guess you won't.
There we go.
We go. That was good. I was thinking I'm on Ross St. Brown for a sec.
He just got drafted.
Yeah, and then you said 2013. For some reason, Glover Quinn's name popped in my head. I was like,
"Ooh."
I don't think he went to USC.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah. He's in the retirement home now.
By the way, that victory is purely thank you, Madden Ultimate Team. That's the only reason that I knew that.
There you go.
Those college legends cards that they used to come out with. I think Robert Woods was one of them one year, so that's why he was the one that popped into my head.
Yeah, I had several other hints, but obviously you didn't need him. I was going to say he went from AFC to NFC because he started his career with the Bills, of course.
Yep.
But
I always forget about that.
Yeah. I honestly didn't know that until I looked it up.
Very Marshawn Lynch-esque of just wasting a little bit of his career with the Bills and then kind of exploding when he went to the West Coast.
Yep. All right. And I chose him for a very specific reason. Obviously, last night we have Thursday Night Football. The Rams at the Seahawks. The Rams end up defeating them 26-17 in what was a pretty interesting game. Didn't go quite how I was expecting. Jake, obviously, we're going to start it off with you. Go ahead and get it out. Let it out.
Yeah. I just want to start out by saying that I think this is the second longest, unless Tom Brady's is longer. I think this is the second longest active starting streak that is coming to an end with Russell Wilson being out. Russell Wilson was definitely up there for 10 years, 10, 11 years.
I think he surpassed Tom Brady when he was suspended, right? Does that count?
Oh, yes. I forgot about the suspension. So yeah. So Russell had the longest active starting streak up until this point. It was looking like he might rival Manning or Favre. But obviously that comes to an end, which is very sad. Just getting into the game. I think we played well to start the game. I thought we had a pretty decent chance. It turned into a defensive battle in the first half. Never would have saw that coming. But then the second half, it started to look a little bit more like Seahawks football. It's sad. I don't know how to feel right now that Russell Wilson's injured because he's just never been injured before. So I don't know. We're heading into uncharted territory here. Geno Smith looks fucking good.
Yep.
Like holy shit. Imagine being the Jets and giving up on Geno Smith. What a bunch of spazzes for that. Jeez. I mean, this guy looks like the MVP of the NFL right now. But no, the main thing and me and Gage talked about this last night. The main thing that I came out of this game with, which it's been on the horizon. It's been on the horizon. So I'm not totally upset because I've seen it coming. I've been in a little bit of a denial about it, but ultimately I've seen it coming. They got to blow it up. They got to rebuild. It's coming to an end. Russell, they were talking about it a little bit before the game on the Thursday Night Football broadcast, that Russell cares a lot about his legacy. He cares about being on a winning team. He cares about having those multiple Super Bowls because, having one Super Bowl is special, but having multiple, very few quarterbacks have done that. And that's something he wants to be a part of. At the same time of that, Pete Carroll's getting up there in age. He's not going to be able to do it for much longer. It just seems like we're coming to the end of an era with the Seahawks. And honestly, that's okay. It's okay. I've kind of came to the acceptance of it because I'd rather go into a rebuild mode and know, you know what, we're going to suck for a couple of years. And then I have no doubt this team with its management will be fine going forward. I'd rather that than go into every week with what's it called? Oh yeah, hope, and just get that, just cut in half, just destroy, just make you cry. Like I hate that. I hate that feeling going to every Seahawks game having a heart attack. We got some good young pieces, and obviously DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, which I'm pretty sure you could probably sustain them through the rebuild. But you know what? All good things come to an end. And it's okay. It's okay because there's just no pieces on this team. Like I'm looking at this team and I'm just like, Jamal Adams, as good as he is, I really think it's the defense coordinator. That's the reason why he's not performing this year. Ken Norton Jr. is not doing a good job. He's not really rushing. If you watch him this year, he's not rushing a whole lot. And he was rushing all of last year. It's almost like Ken Norton Jr. is paying too much of attention to the media of him saying, oh, Jamal Adams can't cover. Jamal Adams can't cover. Which, listen, he can cover a little bit, but only if you put him in good situations with good corners. He is how he's going to cover. He's still a strong safety. Like strong safeties are not meant to be the best in coverage. They're meant to be in the box, playing up towards the line of scrimmage. So that's not really his game. He's meant to, if you can get 10 sacks out of him, rushing him, fucking do it. That's going to help the defense. And now we're just dropping him into coverage all year, which sucks. But yeah, there's really just no hope for where this team can go right now. I'm fine with Geno Smith starting. He might be the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now. How he looked last night, it almost looked like he sparked the offense more than Russell could. But yeah, it's heading towards full rebuild mode. And you know what? It's been a good run. I hope to dear God that we can keep Russell and that he wants to finish his career as a Seahawk, because that would just make everything so much. It would make the rebuild quicker. But a part of me just thinks that we need a new regime in here for the rebuild, because I just think the way Pete Carroll and John Schneider have been trying to build this team throughout the years, it's just not working anymore. You can't just focus. Of course, you want to get those middle round picks right, but you can't just solely focus on getting those middle round picks right. You need to make those early round picks count too, which we haven't been doing over the years. Thank God Jordan Brooks is looking good, because other than that, it's been stinkers. It's been Rashad Penny, LJ Collier, Jermaine Ifedi. Like these are not people that are making impacts on this team. Malik McDowell, who's now on the Browns, and is actually looking good, which makes me feel like shit every day. It's I think we're coming to the end of an era in Seattle. That's basically what I got out of that game last night.
Yeah. I mean, before I get into the game, I see a lot of similarities. Maybe it's just because I'm a Packers fan, but I see so many similarities between the Seahawks now and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Really, like their whole careers are kind of comparable. I mean, always great in passer rating, always up in the top.
Early Super Bowls
with elite defenses, sort of having to carry the team. Whereas Russell Wilson has all the weapons in the world. He has no offensive line. It's sort of the opposite with Aaron Rodgers. He has, only one weapon and a really good offensive line. So I feel like it's sort of that. And if they are the same scenarios, I don't think it's rebuild. I think it's more so of a reload. Pete Carroll, I think it's coming to the end, like you said, end of an era. I don't see this team play the way that it played throughout the 2010s, and 2013, 14, and 15. You just don't see that. I think a lot of the blame has to go on John Schneider, though, for not putting the pieces around this team, around this quarterback too. It's tough. Obviously they made it to 2 Super Bowls. So, I mean, he got the job done there in that aspect, but just the continued success is what you expect out of this team, out of a team led by Russell Wilson with such a good head coach, one of the best all time. But they're just not, they don't surround him with a running back. They don't surround him with an offensive line. It's literally the same problems year after year after year. And the defense finally now is, blowing all apart. It's always been like shaky for the past, like I'd say 4 years. It's always been in the middle of the pack. They're good at some things, bad at others. Now it's just completely dead and gone from the Legion of Boom days. As I move my mic. As for the game last night, it just felt like a sloppy, hard rival division game. And it felt sort of similar to what we saw last year in the playoffs, where this Rams defense just locked down. DK Metcalf did have a good game, but Russell Wilson getting hurt, it's a tough scenario. I mean, he's one of the best in the league easily. So I don't expect them to particularly fare well with Geno Smith at quarterback, although he did look good. And that interception at the end of the game was not his fault. I don't know.
Not his fault at all. Yeah.
Like that was just a trip by him. What's good with the Seahawks field, because Tyler Lockett tripped on that play and Tutu Atwell fumbled the ball and tripped on the opening.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. I really haven't seen anybody like any field related stuff happen. Maybe it was just a bad week for the grounds crew.
Maybe.
But I don't know. That was weird. I'm pretty sure the Seattle Sounders also use that field.
Yeah.
So maybe there was I don't know. It was weird. Tyler Lockett is as short-footed as anybody in the league.
Exactly.
And it was just such a fluky play for him, because it was not, at first it looked like pass interference and I was going ape shit. But then they replayed it and I was like, and the Rams defender skimmed past him. He didn't even touch him. So it was just a fluky play. You can't even blame Geno Smith for that interception.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you guys touched on pretty much everything that there was to touch on. I agree that I feel like the Seahawks could be heading in the direction of a potential rebuild. And I think that the biggest thing is doing away with Pete Carroll at this point and just going with a new front office and new coaching staff. And I hate to say that, because it's one of these regimes that's been around for so long, and we've seen them have that success, but the time to change has come. And I feel like if that does happen, I feel like that is the way to keep Russ and have him around, because I feel like that's what he's going to want after a season like this. But if that doesn't happen and they're willing to stick with Pete Carroll, I think that Russell Wilson is likely gone next season. Regarding the game last night,
all in the offseason. I mean, it's heading that way. It could be.
Yeah, absolutely. Regarding the game last night, it was definitely a little fluky at some points, but I think that both teams came out and played very well defensively early on. And then in the second half, like we talked about last night, Jake, the Rams offense made adjustments. The Seahawks defense didn't. And that's what ended up winning the Rams the game in the long run.
Yeah. People Seahawks fans are blaming the defensive coordinator. For everybody out there that just thinks like our defense is bad, let me put this in perspective. You know how the Raiders defense is doing like shockingly good this year. You know how the Raiders defense was absolute dog shit before like the last couple of years. Yeah, that's because Ken Norton Jr. was their defensive coordinator. Yeah, and now he's our defensive coordinator. And listen, he's a great linebackers coach. He was our linebackers coach for a while. He's the guy, coached up Bobby Wagner, coached up KJ Wright. Big guys like Bruce Irvin was another one he coached up. So he's a terrific linebackers coach, but calling plays in the NFL is different, and he just can't do it. He can't scheme guys up to be in the best positions. Our run defense is absolute ass. And I can tell you right now, we might not have the best defensive line in the world, but we should be able to stop the run a little bit. Poona Ford is a heavily underrated player. You probably haven't heard of him unless you watch Seahawks football, but he's a very good player. He's a very good run stopper. He's a big boy.
Al Woods.
Al Woods is huge.
Yeah. Al Woods a monster. Brian, what's his name? Brian Mayoa or something like that. He's an up and coming young guy. But our defensive line, the thing that bothers me, and then we got Bobby Wagner, you can't pass Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is a tackle machine. He's going to get everybody. And Jordan Brooks is on the come up. He was player of the game last week. Like, he was really good. So like our defense, you look at our front seven, you're like, okay, it's not top 10. It might not be like top 13, but it shouldn't be getting gashed like this.
Yeah,
like,
it shouldn't
absolutely
be like
not
damn near bottom of the league like it has been.
Exactly. Like, so it clearly comes down to scheming. Jamal Adams, if you want to see the scheme being used poorly, look at how Jamal Adams is being used this year. We're putting him in. We put him in the best situations last year. Like he was say what you want. He can't cover. He was making an impact on the defense last year. Every play, he was making an impact. This year, I'm like, is he even near the ball? It's most of the plays. That's where you have to put him. You got to put him near the ball. And it's just bad scheming. I totally agree with what you said, Gage. We got a, new regime, and that's the best way to get Russell to stay. If the owners, rest in peace, Paul Allen, he passed away either last year or a couple of years ago. He was our owner. I don't know I think his wife might have sole ownership now. But if whoever it is, like, you got to see the fact that we're coming to the end. I just want to really quick before we wrap this up. Do you guys think Pete Carroll is a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think pretty easily.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that he is definitely a Hall of Famer. I think that he tends to get overrated in the head coach conversation, especially with a lot of the guys that we have in the league currently. Yeah. But I do think, he's without a doubt a Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah. I don't know if he's first ballot, but I think what he's done, I mean, Russell's never had a losing record. Like, that says a lot. Like, that says a lot. He's always had a winning record. We always somehow find a way to get into the playoffs. I think Russell's only had 1 year where he didn't make the playoffs, which is insane. Yeah. So he's done wonders with this team. He's done a great job with this team. Maybe he goes to USC for a little bit of a career wrap up there. Ooh,
that'd be fun. I feel like I honestly feel like he's a cornerstone of NFL head coaches, especially in this like century, or at least in the later part. I mean, you think great head coaches of the 2010s, of the 2000s, like Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. That's kind of it. They're the only ones that have stuck around. So clearly he's that guy. I do want to just point out, I wish Seattle would have went with Dan Quinn. I wish they would have brought him back.
Dude. Oh my gosh. I wish they would have brought him back. I thought that was the perfect scenario. I was like, oh my God. I thought it was like written in stone. I was like, oh my God, a former Seattle guy who was probably our best defensive coordinator ever. Yeah. Even Gus Bradley, if you would have gone out and got Gus Bradley back, because he was a Seattle guy too. He was the coordinator of the defense that won the Super Bowl. Go out and get both of them were up. Both of them were available. Go get one of them. And Pete Carroll was just like, no, I'm going to stick with this guy that was running a shitty defense in Oakland. That makes sense. No, like, I thought Dan Quinn, it was when Dan Quinn got fired by the Falcons, I was like, oh my God, this is it. We're going to go back to the Super Bowl defenses. Like, this guy's awesome. You see what he's doing in Dallas.
Exactly.
Like, doing a great job with it. I mean, Dallas has got some decent pieces, but tit for tat with us, you match up every position that Dallas has. I don't know if they're on paper much better. Like it's pretty equal defense to look at it.
And like you saw what Dan Quinn did with Cam Chancellor in his career. Like,
yes,
although Cam Chancellor is better in coverage than Jamal Adams is, just imagine what he could do with Jamal Adams. All the different ways you could use him: box linebacker, safety, like whatever it is, covering tight ends, running backs, even wide receivers. Like, you would like to see more out of him. He's just, I don't think he's a scheme fit anymore. He just isn't, and they don't know how to use him.
Yeah, it's like you saw it a little bit with the Super Bowl year. The easy way to Dan Quinn went to the Super Bowl with Keanu Neal, and Keanu Neal was an All-Pro. You saw what he could do with that type of safety. That was his Cam Chancellor, and then Keanu Neal had some injuries. But I think he could do the same thing. I think he would love Jamal Adams. Oh my God, I think that would be a match made in heaven.
Hear me out real quick while we're on the topic of Seattle and changing the regime and everything like that. Pete Carroll's out, right? He's gone.
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, Kellen Moore.
Oh my!
He's from Washington.
Okay.
The head coaching job is available. He comes in, and I mean, you've been ranting and raving about how good the offense has been looking, or did look early into the season. I mean, we're still early into the season, but he comes in, and everything that he's done with Dallas starts incorporating stuff like that into Seattle. And then you're switching up the regime as a whole, and you get a new defensive coordinator and stuff like that as well. You might not even have to rebuild, in my opinion.
That's true.
I'm not with that. I'm against.
Like
I don't like the Kellen Moore pick though. I think he's still got more to prove. Yeah.
I think Kellen Moore is more so like, it's not him doing it. And it's actually like they have really good players like everywhere on their offense. You look everywhere.
Helps.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott, their entire offensive line has Pro Bowlers. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, their ridiculous wide receiver trio. So I don't think it's more so him. And I don't think it's Mike McCarthy either. I think it's just that they have such good players on that offense. So I would be a little bit skeptical about Kellen Moore. I think they're better options. Adam Gase.
Shut up. God. Stop. No. I will. I dead ass like I will not watch Seahawks football if they hire Adam Gase to be like, they won't. They're too smart. The owners are too good. They're too smart to do that. But that I won't. I will stop watching if they do that.
All right, boys, let's go ahead and move on from that. And before we get into our next topic, I do just want to say, if you were listening and you don't have the Overtime app, you're doing something wrong. You definitely got to get it. It's a great app. If you love sports, obviously you do, because you're listening to us rant and rave about it right now. Then this is the app to have to keep up with all your sports news, stats, anything you want to know. This is the app to have. You can check it out at the link in any of our bios and download it there. It helps us out a ton. We appreciate it. Now, with that being said, we're going to get into week 5. Week 5 is right on the horizon. Obviously, we had Thursday Night Football. We just talked about that. And we're going to start making some predictions for this week to come. And the first early game we've got on the slate, Packers at Bengals.
Ooh.
Luke, go ahead.
First off, I just want to say, like, I love football. Don't get me wrong. But, like, once you start getting to week 5, you're like, oh, my God, we're 3 weeks through, halfway through the season. It's like, why is this all coming so quickly? Yeah. Anyways, I think the Packers could be on upset alert here. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to pick them to win. I think they have a good enough team. I think they are the better team. But in Cincinnati, they're not going to have their starting center, Josh Myers. Elton Jenkins is doubtful. Or he's questionable now with an injury. David Bakhtiari is still out. So their offensive line is a mess. That being said, their offensive line has looked amazing the past 2 weeks. Then again, they had Josh Myers the past 2 weeks, and he's been doing wonders as a rookie out of Ohio State. Jair Alexander, that injury sucks. That injury sucks. It's not going to be season ending. We found out today. They expect him to be ready in about 3 weeks, I'd say. So he's going to be out for a little bit. And all of a sudden, the Packers have another Smith bro with Jalen Smith. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I feel like he fits into that category of like middle linebackers that the Packers have had previously that just haven't been able to get the job done. I am going to pick the Packers in this game. I think they have a good enough team, but I will say I think they are on upset alert. I don't know. I think maybe smart money would be on Bengals here if you're doing dead of the week gauge. Give me the Packers. I think it's going to be low scoring. Give me like 28-20 pack.
Ooh. I'm glad you mentioned it because I was like, this might be a trap game for the Packers, like going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's looked really, really good. Like that offensive line has completely surpassed everybody's expectations because everybody was pissed that they didn't take Penei Sewell, but then they went in the second round, took a really good offensive line. I can't remember his name, but they took a really good offensive lineman. So they still addressed the position. People were just up in arms that they took Jamar Chase. How does that look now? But yeah, the Bengals, I mean, that's a team. The Bengals is what gives me hope because they went through so many years of shit after, the Andy Dalton glory years. And then, they're right back at it. They're back to being good again. So that's what gives me hope. Yeah, I see. I'm kind of I gotta be safe mode here with my picks. I'm already 0-1 this week, picking the Seahawks. And I've made stupid decisions in the past when I could have just made the obvious pick. So I'm gonna make the obvious pick here and just take the Packers. But yeah, I could completely see a scenario where the Bengals win this game. Yeah, just give me the Packers. Just give me the Packers. That's
From the Packers.
Yeah.
I also feel the same way. And honestly, I'll put it this way. If the Bengals had Joe Mixon in this game, I think I would take them just because I know that the Packers run defense.
Joe Mixon's out?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know how long he's going to be out. He's dealing with an injury. It's going to be Samaje Perine, I believe, is going to be the starting running back.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Chris Evans or something.
Yeah. So if they had Joe Mixon, I think I would take them. But it's just so hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers. I just think that even if it's a scoring race, which it could come down to that, I think Aaron Rodgers wins that every time. Despite me, I like Joe Burrow. I think that he's a good quarterback. But yeah, so I'm going to take the Packers in this one as well. I don't think it'll be a defensive battle, but I think it'll be offense to the very end. Next up, we have got Saints at Washington football team. I'll just go ahead and start this one out. And despite losing to the Giants this past week, I think I am going to go Saints here still. We're going to go back and forth for a little while until we get our offense back in full operating form with our O-linemen and receivers and all that. But I do think that we are capable of beating this team going into this week. I think that Sean Payton is going into this week pissed off that a lot of people are questioning his play calling. I think he's going to take the training wheels off just a little bit. He's going to tweak the offense, open it up some for Jameis, and I think we can get the win in this one.
I'm torn with this game because I'm starting to believe in the legend that is Taylor Heineke. I'm starting to hop on that train. This man might be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I might pick him up in fantasy now that Russell Wilson's down because I have on two teams. Yeah, that might be the move. By the way, I had Russell Wilson, Cooper Kupp, and Alex Collins in that game last night. That was rough. It was rough for me. But anyway, it's just not a great. They put up 29 points. It's not good. But anyway, moving to the matter at hand. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Washington in this one. For no other fact than the fact that I bet on them to win the division. They got to start winning games if they're gonna do that. So I really need them to win this game. And Taylor Heineke, man, he's another one. We talked about the killer instinct that Daniel Jones had last week. This man's got it too. He's not going down without a fight. If you watch the playoff game last year, this man's gonna give his body. He would lay it all out on the line for a win on any given week. So yeah, I'm gonna hop on the Heineke train right here, and I'm gonna take the Washington football team in this one.
I can't believe he's not sponsored by Heineken, by the way. Bud Light, really? Come on, Taylor.
Perfect mesh right there.
Come on. I mean, I'd love to be sponsored by Bud Light, but I think this is one of the harder games to pick this week because I don't know exactly what the Saints are, and I don't know exactly what the Washington football team is. That's weird, but I think I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I feel like last week was a fluky loss. I'm still kind of upset. I know you were upset, Gage, but they can't lose that game. Being your first time at home after Ida, that's tough. I think they're gonna come out swinging. But I will say with Jameis Winston's interception history, let's say, I could see a scenario where he sort of throws this game. I've been looking for the Washington football team's defense to sort of have that game where they really are put in the spotlight as being one of the better defenses in the NFL. It has not happened yet. It's exactly what I expected coming into the season, that they were going to be the best defense, adding Jamin Davis and a bunch of other pieces in the offseason. But I'm going to go with the Saints here. I think they're going to come back after last week's disappointing loss.
I think that our offenses are near even, but I think that our defense is better. And I think that's why I'm comfortable picking us here this week.
Mhm.
And like Taylor Heineke, yes, has been playing very well, and he's had a great connection with Terry McLaurin thus far. But other than the Bills, I don't think they've played a defense quite like ours. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
Next up, Eagles at Panthers.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
McCaffrey might be back. He's listed as doubtful, but he might be.
It's doubtful, yeah.
Might be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers here. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna struggle against this defense. This defense they could be the best in the league. Like when everybody's healthy.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned it in the group chat, Gage. Will they be healthy? Now that they've added Stephon Gilmore, they've added CJ Henderson. Will they all be healthy at once? Once they are, that team's going to be ridiculous. And I'm even hearing things that Stephon Gilmore is going to re-sign with them in the offseason. We obviously don't know if that's going to happen yet. But I think the Panthers take this, and I think they take it by a lot. I think they're going to blow this team out.
Give me Sam Darnold to have 8 touchdown passes in this game. I'm kidding. But no, I think Sam Darnold's going to go off in this game. I hope to dear Lord that Christian McCaffrey does not play in this game because I have him in 2 of my very important fantasy teams. And the fantasy doctors have brought this up. Don't play this week. Like the risk of re-injury is too high. I don't give a shit how good you're feeling in practice. Just sit out one game. The Panthers are going to win it. It's the Eagles. They're going to win. If you didn't know my pick, it's the Panthers, obviously.
Really?
Like you're going to win this week. Like calm down, Christian. I know you want to get back on the field. I know you want to perform, show why you deserve that money. Just take it a week. Just take one more week off and you're good. You'll be fine. Okay. Just calm down. So yeah, I hope to dear God that Christian McCaffrey does not play this week, but yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout. I think Sam Darnold with this team now, this team might go like 13-4. Like that's a possibility for this team right now. That defense is legit. You can't tell me otherwise. Sam Darnold's leading the league in rushing touchdowns right now. So like that's nobody talked about his legs. When you talk about Sam Darnold, he's got all the offensive pieces. DJ Moore is having a damn good season. Listen, this team, like the only weakness on this team that I could think of is the offensive line. And they play good enough. Like they're not abysmal. Like they play good enough. I think we got to start being scared about the Panthers. I don't think they're going to win the division because the Bucs are too good, but they might put the league on notice after the Stephon Gilmore trade.
Yeah. Do we know if Gilly's playing this week?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't think he is.
Yeah.
I think the rule was that if he was traded, he'd still have to be on the PUP list till like week 7. But if he was released and then signs with another team, then he would be eligible to practice again, which is weird.
Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I think I'm going to take the Panthers in this one as well. I don't know that it'll be a blowout like you guys are predicting it to be. I think it'll be a little bit closer. That Philly offense, I think, other than their one game against the Cowboys where they obviously stagnated quite a bit, I think that they have been playing fairly well. I mean, we saw their game with the Chiefs where it was an absolute scoring race to the very end. And I think we could see something kind of sort of similar here, but I do think the Panthers will pull it out in the end. And next we have, this one is tough. I think this might be the hardest game to pick this week. Browns at Chargers. Jake, do you want to start?
I thought you were looking at Texans.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like,
All right. Yeah, Browns and Chargers. Yeah, this one is tough. Chargers are on a roll, man. They just handed Oakland their first loss this season. Browns, Baker's got to play a little better, but they look good too. That defense is legit. It's in Los Angeles. That's not much of an advantage. I mean, the Chargers, I'm pretty sure they had more Raider fans there than they had Charger fans there.
Yeah. It's a Browns home game. It's a Browns.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically, for that reason, I'm going to take the Browns in this game. There's always that week where a team's got to be humbled. And I don't think the Chargers, who was their one loss to? Their one loss was to
the Cowboys. Yep.
Cowboys. And that was a close game. So, I don't know. I think the Browns are going to humble them in this one. I think this is going to be a pretty good win for the Browns. That team is just that defense of the Browns just looks too damn good right now. Like they are legit in every facet of the game. The Chargers are rolling too. It's going to be a great game to watch. But yeah, give me the Browns in this one.
I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Like you said, I think teams need to be. You think teams need to be humbled. I think the Browns are gonna be humbled this week. Baker Mayfield's coming in with a torn labrum in his shoulder. OBJ is yet to really be a factor in this offense, or a big factor at least. And last week's game against the Vikings, they had a stinker. I mean, the Vikings are not that good. You should be able to put up more than 14 points, and a lot of that was field goals anyway. So, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Browns this week. I think the Chargers, I was underrating them the entire offseason. I'll admit, I didn't believe in this team. I think they were a little bit overrated coming into the season, and I was dead wrong. They went and beat the Chiefs, and I think they're going to beat a really good Browns team as well. Although it is a home field advantage for the Cleveland Browns, and it's crazy to me how they moved to Los Angeles and have 0 fans. Like, that's crazy. How every single time they have a home game, their fans are outnumbered by the opposing team every single time. It's crazy. But I think the Chargers are on a roll right now. I think Justin Herbert's going to light up this defense actually, because this Chargers offense is ridiculously good. I think Justin Herbert has emerged as a top 10 quarterback easily. And they have a ridiculous receiving core. Mike Williams is on a hot streak. Austin Eckler's on a hot streak. I like the Chargers defense in this one. Give me the Chargers. Or offense, I meant. My bad.
Yeah, I basically completely agree with everything that Luke just said. I'm taking the Chargers for that same reason. I think the Browns are going to have to wake up a little bit this week and be like, okay, we need to get the offense going. Otherwise, we're not going to win games because the defense just can't do it all. I think it was either last episode or last week I compared the Browns to the Steelers because I was like, that defense is really good, but they're not going to be able to hang on to it forever. The offense is going to have to be able to put up points because when they face these good teams, they're going to have issues. And I think that Chargers defense isn't getting enough love either because they looked really good against the Raiders this past week. I mean, Joey Bosa was getting in there.
They had
guys. Yeah, they had guys all over the place. So I think they're going to be in their face. They're going to show them what's up. And I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything, but I do think that the Chargers can win this game by a couple scores.
Yeah.
And now we'll get into Pat's Texans. And I don't think there's a whole lot of analysis that needs to be done here. But Luke, go ahead.
I don't know if the Patriots win this game. Genuinely.
Do it. Say it.
Fuck
Say
it. Give me the Houston Texans, baby. No reason at all. Give me the Houston Texans to beat the New England Patriots. Shit. I know that's a bad pick. I know Bill Belichick is not about to lose to the bum ass Houston Texans with Davis Mills starting. Give me the Texans, baby. Give me Houston. I need to catch up somehow.
I love that confidence because I don't have the same. I think this is going to be Mac Jones' best game of the year. I think he's going to go off in this game. There is no way the Patriots walk out of this game with an L, unless there's some significant injuries that happen during the course of this game. This is going to be ugly for the Texans. Give me the Patriots all the way.
Is it still going to be Davis Mills here? I think it is, right?
Yeah,
it's still Davis Mills.
Yeah, give me Davis Mills to throw 3 interceptions before half. I think that the Patriots are going to absolutely run away with this one. I think that the defense is too good to go up against a rookie quarterback and just let him do whatever he wants. And I mean, they know what Brandon Cooks is. They know how they're going to be able to cover him. And I think that Mac Jones is going to have a great game as well, like Jake said. I don't know that it'll be his best of the year. He played really well against the Buccaneers. But yeah, Patriots for sure. I can't go Texans here.
I don't know. I think this is upset of the. If I get this right, this has got to be the best upset pick of all time.
If you get it right, then you're gonna have your first not clown, straight up clown post on Instagram.
All right, Sped. I want a crown. Fucking crown me if the Texans win.
You know he's not gonna do that.
But if you get it wrong,
dumb luck. Yeah,
you're making it too easy for him.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're just making it way worse.
Then let me pick.
Wait, I do want to mention, Luke, your player of the game for 2 weeks in a row has sat out with injury. If that doesn't just prove the Luke curse, I don't know what does.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I need to start making a list of all the shit that's happened because it's uncanny.
Speaking of which, none of us got a point for the player of the game because I would say it was Robert Woods. None of us picked Robert Woods.
Yeah.
And Geno. None of us picked Geno Smith either.
That's true. Geno Smith would have been another good option.
I think he's player of the game.
DK Metcalf would have been a good option. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. He played pretty well.
All right, boys. And on to the next one. This, I think, is worse than the last game. This is the garbage game of the week. Jets at Falcons. It's going to be in London, so I guess if there's any excitement to it, that's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Luke.
Jets. I will not be picking the Falcons for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I think the only like good thing about this game is it's something I can have on in the background when I wake up in the morning. You know, it's not it like I think they did this on purpose because they knew if they didn't have it as the only game on TV, nobody would be watching it. Other than Jets and Falcons fans, maybe even they wouldn't be watching it as they know how terrible their teams are. I mean, we just saw in person how dysfunctional the Jets organization is for getting rid of maybe the greatest quarterback of our era in Geno Smith. And that team is now going to London to face a Falcons team that's just absolutely abysmal. Shit. Man, I don't know.
Wait, hold up, pause. They gave up Geno Smith for Ryan Fitzpatrick in that one season wonder.
Yeah, but
I'd
was
say,
that what they didn't even get into the playoffs in that one season wonder? So was it really worth it?
Yeah, but they've won more games in that season than they've won in like the past 10 years or like 6 years.
Give me, you know what? I want to pick the Jets in this one. I don't
pick the Jets.
Yeah, give me fuck it. I'm taking the Jets. Give me the Jets, man.
Let's go.
You know what? I'm doing it too.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And the
Let's
Falcons
go, Jets.
The Falcons are without Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage.
Mm-hmm.
So all the more reason. I mean,
and
Cordero Patterson.
And a viable quarterback option too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, still taking the Jets in this one. I think Zach Wilson gets a little bit of confidence in that last game against the Titans. They get a win, and I think he carries that over into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Jamison Crowder, by the way, to absolutely go off in this game.
He probably will.
That Falcons
probably.
secondary has nothing. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the best slot receivers in the league. Sneaky slot receivers oh my God, I think he has 150 yards. Just a prediction.
You know,
just a
prediction.
Yeah.
Next up, battle for Florida. We got Dolphins at Buccaneers. Jake?
I don't know how much of a battle it's going to be. Give me the Buccaneers all the way. If the Dolphins win this game, it's purely because of the defense. That is the only way they win this game. And their defense isn't even that good. So, yeah, give me the Bucs by a landslide in this one. Luke,
give me
are we
Jacoby Brissett
No.
to throw 6 interceptions. Give me the Bucs.
Okay, all right.
give me the Bucs.
Like Luke's on something.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs also. I mean, even with the injured secondary and stuff, they went into New England this past week and took care of business. So I don't think they'll have any issues doing it again.
Yeah.
And then next up, Broncos at Steelers.
This is like the Broncos are what the Steelers should be, right?
Yeah.
Like defensively, I mean, with all their wide receivers as well. It's at Pittsburgh. I don't know. I think Pittsburgh genuinely might be one of the worst teams in the league. Genuinely, because their offense is so incapable of doing literally anything. That puts their defense in a really tough spot of always having to be on the field all the time. And their defense is their strength. Don't get me wrong, but how can it really be your strength when they're always on the field? They're going to be giving up some points. I don't know. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, is he going to play? I heard that
he returned to practice. I want to say yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's supposed to play or not.
I don't think I've heard it's going to be Drew Lock.
It's Drew Lock. Honestly, if it was Teddy B, I'd probably pick the Broncos. But now that it's Drew Lock, nah, fuck it. Give me the Broncos. Give me Drew Lock, horsecock. Throw 4 touchdowns. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Not that really the Steelers' home field advantage really means anything with the team being this bad. Just checking the so there's so it's basically going to be a game time decision from what this says. And it's a pick 'em according to Vegas too. So give me the Broncos. I just think they're the better team. And I think no matter who their quarterback is, I kind of want to see Drew Lock play. I do, because I want to see the full potential of this offense. And Drew Lock unlocks that. Like he does. He played really good in the preseason. I didn't watch the rest of the game that he went in the last week. I didn't watch how he did.
Played very well. I don't think he
Did
played
he not?
bad, but I don't think he played like great or anything.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he's not really ready to go in. So like, you kind of get a pass for that. So I think I don't really think the quarterback is going to be an issue. The Broncos have two experienced guys, whereas the Steelers have basically an interception machine at quarterback this year. So yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos in this one.
I'm going to agree, and I'm going to also take the Broncos here. And if Drew Lock does play, I'm excited to see him start a game that's actually game planned for him, because I feel like he can open up that offense and maybe, actually put Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick to some use, even though they're missing, obviously, guys like Jerry Jeudy and they lost KJ Hamler. I still think they have more than enough firepower on that offense. Give me Melvin Gordon to have a big game. I think that defense of the Steelers is going to get worn down, like Luke was saying, because they're always going to be on the field. And I think Melvin Gordon's going to go off.
Going to benefit from that. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I will say I am a little bit concerned for the health and safety of one Big Ben Roethlisberger with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb coming all at you. Like that's going to be rough. And their secondary too. Big Ben legit might have 2 fumbles and 3 interceptions. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. I want to see what you guys think. I brought this up in the Discord earlier. Obviously, we're still a little ways away from the trade deadline. I think the Steelers should trade Juju. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No,
they have Deontay
not.
Johnson, they have Chase Claypool. Trade Juju and get something, some O-line, some picks, get something out of him. I don't think he should have re-signed to begin with.
He is on a 1-year deal, so that would work out.
It'd be easy to trade him.
James Washington arguably is better than Juju Smith-Schuster at this point in their careers. I would love to have a guy like James Washington on my team. He is so underrated and never gets any playing time because he's the number 4 receiver, and that's crazy. He absolutely should be getting more playing time. I'm with that. I like that. And Juju is a distraction to the team.
Yeah, it's crazy because Juju was like the heir apparent to Antonio Brown. He was so good. Like in his first and second, he was so good. Like he was definitely a wide receiver 1. We're like, oh, this guy's like the Steelers don't have to worry about when Antonio Brown retires or goes somewhere else because they got Juju. And now Juju's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like he was a guy I rooted for because he was such a fun personality. Now it's kind of gotten annoying a little bit.
Remember when he knocked out Vontaze Burfict on that?
Yeah,
block?
that was hype.
That
was
so
hype.
Great.
I love that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know at this point. I don't know how much he's valued in NFL circles where you could maybe even get something for him. Like maybe you get a decent O lineman. I don't know if you get a great O lineman unless you package some picks in there. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his trade value is.
Listen, if Stephon Gilmore is getting traded for a 6th-round pick, you can't trade anything more than a piece of gum for Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's different, though. That's the Patriots being like, we're releasing this guy anyway.
Let's just get something for him.
Exactly.
From what I heard, what they did is they were like, we have offers from all these teams, and they were like, Stephon, pick where you want to go, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and he wanted to go home. He's from the Carolinas. Yeah. So yeah, he wanted to go home.
I heard that too from one Jake Maltese.
Oh yes. That was before the reports too. I looked at the situation. I was like, this is so obvious what happened here. Like everybody's like, I can't believe my team didn't go after him. No, your team probably did. Like the NFL is not stupid. They know like you don't want to leave them to free agency, and they know the Patriots are going to accept like a 6th-round pick for him. They probably got a shit ton of those offers, and they're just like, all right. They're all basically the same value. Stephon, where do you want to go? And he picked Carolina.
All right, moving on. We kind of went off a little bit there, but we'll get back on track. Titans at Jaguars. AJ Brown is expected to play. Julio Jones has been ruled out. Jake, you can go ahead and start with this one if you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been a shit show in Jacksonville for this week for obvious reasons. We've all seen the video of Urban Meyer. I've heard that. I can't imagine what it's like at home right now. That man must be fighting for his life. Jesus Christ. Like that is not a good look, not even for the locker room. Just when you go home, like that man's in the doghouse in so many places. But like, it seems like he lost the team. Urban Meyer lost the team. That's from all the reports. Like, this is bad. Like, he might not even make it through the season. So give me the Titans to win this one by a lot, because that Jacksonville organization does not seem like it's competent enough to win a game at this point.
I'm going to make a very bold prediction right now. I think the Jaguars go 0-17. I think they go 0-17.
I don't hate that.
They've shown me nothing over the past 2 years where it's like maybe they won't go, winless. Urban Meyer should have never been hired in the first place. This Jaguars organization has not seen the light of day since Blake Bortles led them to the AFC Championship. I just watched those highlights, by the way, today. That shit still blows my mind how the Jaguars were in the AFC Championship game only 4 years ago.
That
4
defense
years ago
was crazy.
It was crazy. Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey.
2 first-team All-Pros at corner. And AJ Bouye and Jalen Ramsey. That's insane.
AJ Bouye.
AJ Bouye is also in Carolina, by the way.
Is he really?
Really?
Yes, he is.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez,
man,
this
he
guy's
must have
corners
fallen off.
everywhere. Corners everywhere.
He must have fallen off a little bit, though, if he's not really being noticed. Yeah,
because he got that big contract in Denver, and then all right.
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars go 0-17, which is really weird because Trevor Lawrence has never lost like a game in his life ever. And all of a sudden he's never going to win a game in the NFL through his first season.
Seems like it.
Yeah, so give me the Titans by 46 points here in this game. Exactly 46.
I love you saying that, actually, because I'm picking the Jaguars in this game.
Stop.
Stop
it, Gage.
I know. It sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
It does. And I don't know why I feel this way. I don't really have any major explanation for it, but the Jaguars have been getting better. They have issues going on outside of football itself, but Trevor Lawrence has been playing better as the games go on. They had a close one against the Bengals this past week. And obviously, I mean, I'm not saying that the Bengals and Titans, well, I mean, I will say that. I think the Bengals and Titans are pretty much on par right now, just about. I think that the Jaguars get it done. I think that James Robinson has a big game. I think that Trevor Lawrence does what needs to be done. And I think that they exploit that Titans defense a little bit.
How over under 200 rushing yards for Derrick Henry?
Over.
Right.
I think he gets 38 carries in this game. I think they're just gonna wear out the shit of the defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Dude, they're gonna go 0-17.
All right, and next up we have got Lions at Vikings. Luke, take it away.
I really like the Lions, man. I really like the Lions. I think they have a lot of things going right for them right now. And I think the Vikings have a lot of things going wrong for them right now. And I don't want to continue picking the Vikings only for them to disappoint me. And I don't want to not pick the Lions only for them to overachieve and play actually like decent. I want to go to the Lions, but I can't. I got to go with the Vikings here. I think why am I blanking? Why am I blanking right now? What is the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings?
Mike Zimmer?
Mike fucking Zimmer. Oh my God, that's bad. I think Mike Zimmer's on the hot seat. He's got to be. He absolutely has to be. This defense is not playing up to par. This offense, although Kirk Cousins is having a decent start to the season, just isn't getting the job done. Some of that is obviously due to Dalvin Cook's injuries, but it's not looking as prolific as it did last year per se. I got to go with the Vikings here. They can't drop another game. I think they're gonna take one from the Lions here. I am gonna pick the Lions, I promise, at some point, but just not this week.
Yeah, if this game was in Detroit, I think maybe this would be the game that I picked the Lions. I think I did pick them last week, actually.
Yeah,
and that did not go.
And they fucked us over.
Yeah, that did not go well for me. So Lions, I'm so sorry, but I can't pick you for a while now. I'm going with the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings in this one for the same reason. I think that the Vikings are better than the Bears, and the Bears gave them like a walloping this past week, gave the Lions a walloping, and I just can't pick the Lions again right this second. I think against another team, maybe a lesser team, I would go with them, but some of these contenders, I don't know. I don't think I could take the Lions anymore, despite how good they looked early on.
I'm the opposite way. I am going to pick the Lions when they play the next good team. Like the next good team on their schedule, I'm feeling a lot. I got to find it now. I got to find it.
I think they play the Bengals next week.
All right, that's a dub.
Yeah, that's because I made a video. It was like who gets a win first, because the Jaguars and the Jaguars and the Lions are the only two winless teams left. And I think I didn't pick the Jaguars against the Titans, even though I did that here, but I think they could beat the Dolphins next week. And then I think I had the Lions winning the same week against the Bengals. So
October 24th, 4:05 p.m. Lions beat Rams. You heard it here first. I'll say it again in 2 weeks.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right. On to the next. We have got Bears at Raiders. Jake.
Yeah. Khalil Mack game. So this is in I almost said Oakland. This is in Las Vegas. They have a pretty good home field advantage there. That stadium gets loud. Justin Fields, man, that offense looked better than the previous week, but I'm still not totally impressed with it. The Raiders played a tough game. They almost came back against the Chargers. They definitely played them tough. The Raiders have pretty much established themselves. I don't think this is a fluke. I think they're definitely one of the best teams in the league right now. They're very well coached, as much as Luke hates John Gruden. But they're pretty well coached. Gage.
Did you guys hear about that?
I did.
About John Gruden today.
I did. Just another
what
reason
happened?
why he should not be there.
What happened? I didn't hear it.
Some racial remarks from back in, what was it, 2011?
Yeah.
From an email regarding I forget his name.
Isn't it the president of the NFL, Smith, DeMaurice Smith?
Yeah.
And it came out because he just got
NFLPA.
NFLPA. It came out through Wall Street Journal just at the same time he got reelected today as NFLPA president.
Really?
Yeah, he made. I won't repeat what it was, but it was about the size of his lips, basically.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, some racial
All
remarks.
right.
They're looking into that. We'll see how that plays out.
I did not know that, so I'm going to take back
The
my
Bears.
comments about. I'm going to take back my comments about John Gruden. But yeah, the Raiders. I think the Raiders win this game. I just think they're more talented than the Bears right now. Until that Bears offense gets fully going, I'm just not going to trust it. So I think the Raiders win this one.
I'm in the exact same boat. I'm on the Raiders bandwagon. I just started a franchise mode in Madden with them because I like them so much. Yeah, give me Derek Carr and the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders as well. Fuck John Gruden, but I'm going to take the Raiders.
Like when we say the Raiders, we don't mean John Gruden. John Gruden is
no.
a separate entity.
Completely
John
disavow
Gruden lists
John
Raiders.
Gruden.
Yes. Derek
Maybe
Carr. That's who I'm talking about.
John
Derek
Gruden is
Carr
not
led
winning
Raiders.
this game.
Yeah,
No.
The team is winning the game.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on from that. Next up, we have got the Giants at Cowboys. Luke.
I will say I do feel like the Giants are one of the more underrated teams in the NFL. I feel like I said that in the last episode as well. They have been looking better. And they have really they could be like they could be a 2-2 team right now. 2-2 or even 3-1. I will say I don't think there's a chance in hell that they win this game against the Cowboys. In fact, I actually think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Cowboys are going to lay it on them just like they laid it on the Eagles. And I think they're going to win this game. And I think they're going to put up 41 points, 40 plus points is what I meant to say. And I just don't, although Daniel Jones has improved this season and it's been a monumental leap, really. I just don't think this is the type of game, not with the way that Trevon Diggs has been playing, not with the way this defense has been playing. This team is reeling. I said in the offseason, I thought the Cowboys were going to be legit, and they are looking like it right now. They're looking like one of the best teams in the NFC.
I want to pick the Giants so badly in this game, so badly. But it's in Dallas, and I think that's ultimately the deciding factor for me. I don't know I don't really think this game is going to be a blowout. The Giants and Cowboys, they always play each other tough.
True.
No matter the level of each team, it's always a pretty even matchup. But I do agree that the Cowboys are really rolling right now. But I really think with the way Daniel Jones is playing and, kind of getting those weapons involved last week, we saw finally the integration of Kadarius Toney. Like we're starting to see all those weapons get involved here. I think Sterling Shepard might be coming back this week. Saquon's finally starting to catch his stride. I think this is going to be a good game. I really do think this is going to be a good game. It's always good when these two teams match up. But yeah, I do think the Cowboys are more talented, and I think that's ultimately the deciding factor here. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
I think that this is going to be a close game as well. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to go back and forth quite a bit. Give me Trevon Diggs and his interception streak to end in this game. I don't think Daniel Jones will throw an interception. I bet
Wow.
you've never heard that before.
Wow. We're in uncharted territory here with that comment.
And not only that, Give me the Giants to go back to back with upsets, upsetting the
Wow.
Saints
Crazy.
and then upsetting the
That'd be crazy.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it's going to happen. I think Daniel Jones is going to put everybody on notice.
I mean, he kind of has this season already.
They're getting in a groove. I feel like
Yeah.
game to game they've been improving. Even with the Washington game, as close as that was, just a couple things go their way and they win that one.
Especially now that they're getting Saquon more involved too.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're figuring out how
Andrew
to
Thomas
incorporate
is
it.
looking good. Their offensive line really has been much improved
Yeah,
from
it
last year.
hasn't. I wouldn't say it's been one of the worst in the league this season,
Yeah.
like it has been in the past. So I think it'll be a close game, and I think the Giants squeak it out.
Yeah.
And then we have got another divisional matchup, 49ers at Cardinals. Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, give me the Cardinals in this one to be the only 5-0 team in the NFL left. They look freaking good. They look really, really good. I have nothing bad to say about the Cardinals. If there's anybody that's going to test how good of a coach Cliff Kingsbury is, it's going to be Kyle Shanahan. Because Kyle Shanahan is on another level when it comes to just scheming things up and showing you coverages and showing you plays you haven't seen before and doing different things in the run game that you haven't seen before. So this is going to be a big test for the Cardinals so Trey Lance is going to be starting this game. I think we all know that. And Trey Lance did not look great against the Seahawks. He definitely looked shaky. And I think the Cardinals defense is just going to pounce on that. So give me the Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Trey Lance has just not looked great. Definitely not that number 3 overall pick status that he should be playing to. And I think he is going to be getting alive. You're exactly right, Jake. This Cardinals defense has been reeling. This Cardinals team has been just outstanding. They are as of right now, you could say that they're the best team in the NFL because they haven't had a loss. And you're probably right. Kyler Murray's played outstanding. I will say about this division, though, I feel like we might have overestimated this NFC West a little bit. Maybe it's because injuries are a factor. Obviously, they are with Russell Wilson being out, Jimmy G being out now. But we need to take a look at the other conference and look at the AFC West and what they're doing. Maybe we overestimated this division a little bit. The 49ers, just something about this team is just off. I don't know what it is. It's like their pass rush isn't as prolific as it once was. Their secondary definitely isn't as good as it was in 2019. This offense as a whole, aside from, Deebo Samuel, is pretty stagnant at times. Even George Kittle, who just has not looked the same this year, or at least
for this game as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's got to be a factor why. But yeah, I like the Cardinals in this matchup. I think that they are very, very much so legit.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals as well in this one. I like the 49ers, and I think that, I don't think it's going to be a close game or anything like that, but I think that Trey Lance is going to have some flashes. I feel like Kyle Shanahan is going to work in some of the stuff that I was talking about before with Trey Lance potentially starting. I think there's going to be a lot of options and stuff like that, incorporating Deebo Samuel even in those, incorporating Trey Sermon in those. And I think that they'll have some plays where it's like, okay, they might have a little something here, but I think it's going to be probably an ugly first start for Trey Lance as a whole, especially going up against that Cardinals defense, especially the way Byron Murphy's been playing. So I think the Cardinals probably pull this one out by a couple scores, maybe more.
Yeah.
And then we have got Sunday Night Football, Bills at Chiefs. This is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great game. The Bills defense might be the best in the NFL right now. Like they shut out. I think, did they shut out another team? They shut out two teams this year, right?
2 in a row.
2 in a row. That's insane.
They've outscored opponents like 120 to 21 or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane. So all the Steelers fans that from week 1 saying the Bills ain't shit and are, we're gonna have a great season. Yeah, you look stupid now, don't you? Yep. Yeah, the week 1 in the NFL tells you nothing. It tells you nothing. Yeah. Bills look great. Chiefs look bad. Chargers went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. So I really don't know if Kansas City is this huge home field advantage that we've all been told. It is Sunday Night Football, so it's under the lights. I think that stadium's going to be rocking, but it's nothing Josh Allen's not used to. I mean, it's the guy that got to an AFC championship game last year. He's been in this situation before. I think they're out for vengeance against the Chiefs. And I think this is the perfect time to prove it. Chiefs are on the downfall. Bills are on the come up. Are the Chiefs? The Chiefs are 1-3.
They're 2-2.
Yeah,
2-2.
Mhm.
Wow.
They beat the
The
Eagles
Chiefs-
last week too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So the Chiefs have the potential to be 2-3 here. That's crazy. Crazy, man.
Last in the division.
I think the Bills are the better team overall. Maybe not offensively, but definitely defensively. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs by default here. Why am I shaking my laptop so much? I'm gonna pick the Chiefs by default here. I think they're obviously at Arrowhead. I think after what Andy Reid has been going through health wise, they're gonna have a little bit of an extra chip on their shoulder. And I just can't. Although Patrick Mahomes has not had the greatest start to the season, at least with throwing let's say turnover worthy plays. He does lead the league in touchdowns. But of course, he is a recipient of having a great wide receiver and a great tight end. I don't really have a reason why I'm picking the Chiefs. I just think that it's going to be similar to the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes, I would take Patrick Mahomes in an instant over Josh Allen. And I think he's going to come out and prove why he is the best quarterback in the league. So yeah, give me the Chiefs, and that's all I got to say.
I'm taking the Bills in this one as well. I think that
Really?
they are the best team in the AFC right now, and I don't think there's a ton of doubt around that. I mean, there might be a couple other teams that you could argue, but I think the Bills are going out and they're putting it on teams like it's nothing. Obviously, they haven't gone up against the toughest competition the past couple weeks or so, but they just look great. I mean, on all facets, they're just firing on all cylinders, and I think they're going to continue to do so in this game. And I think that it won't be the Josh Allen show as much as people may be expecting. I think that Zach Moss is going to have a big game. Because the Chiefs' run defense has not been great so far, and I think that they'll go to the ground first. And I think that Zach Moss is potentially going to have this game that we've been waiting for him to have. He's been putting up some scores and stuff, but I think that he's going to have 100+ yards in this one.
I know that we just had the Patriots and Buccaneers play, but in terms of like playoff seeding and what we're going to see later down the line, I think this is the most important game of the entire season. I mean, you're talking about two of the best teams, not only in the AFC, but just the entire league in general.
Yeah.
This game is going to determine who has a home field advantage later on, because I'm sure I hope at least this isn't going to be the last time we see these two teams play, because they are so good. But one of these teams is going to get home field advantage. One of these teams is probably going to be the number one seed in the AFC, unless the Texans make a comeback. I mean, that's still possible, but yeah, this is an important game. I think it might be the most important of the entire season.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Big.
And then finally, we've got Monday Night Football. This one I think is a little interesting, so I'm interested to see which way you guys go. I think I know which way you guys are going to go, but Monday Night Football, Colts at Ravens. Luke, go ahead.
I'm going with a tie. Nah. You said you thought you knew where I was going. I tested it. Yeah, give me the Ravens. I mean, I'm not expecting Carson Wentz to, do anything crazy in this game, not against this Ravens defense in Baltimore. They are banged up. I will say I'm a little bit skeptical about Lamar Jackson this game. I feel like he might have a little bit of a stinker going up against this Colts defense, which is, I'd say, top 10 in the league at this point. This Colts team has been disappointing this season. There's no other way to put it. Jonathan Taylor hasn't had the greatest start, although Naheem Hines seems to be have a highlight every single game. He's not that number one guy. Just their entire offense, what I expected it to be, it's nothing at all what it should have been. Although a lot of it does come down to injury. They don't have Quentin Nelson, obviously. Yeah, give me the Ravens here. I don't really have much else to say. I think they're just straight up the better team.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one. I do. I just, I think the Colts are so much better than how they've been playing. Their defense, Luke, like you said, their defense has been playing really, really well. And we haven't, it's nothing we haven't seen before with the Ravens having a stinker. They went up to Detroit and almost lost that game. If not for a literal world record field goal, they might have lost that game. Yeah. So the Colts, they got talent. They got talent everywhere. It's just a matter of putting it all together. And I think the Ravens are not this unbeatable team this year. They're a team that's playing well, but we've seen them slip up. And I think this, it is at home. But I think this is an opportunity for the Ravens to slip up. I think the Colts shock a lot of people here and walk out of Baltimore with a win.
I'm so torn. And literally just sitting here listening to you guys talk, I've gone back and forth in my head about which team I'm going to pick here. And I think I'm going to agree with Jake, and I think I'm going to take the Colts in this one as well. I don't think that it's going to be anything like crazy, like the Colts are going to blow them out or like Lamar Jackson's going to have a horrific game or anything. I think that both sides are going to play well. But I said in this like last week that up against the Dolphins, the Colts had some things that they were just not quite getting done in the red zone. They figured those things out. They scored on a pretty solid defense in the Dolphins. And I think that they're going to continue to do so. I think that they're getting some things that they didn't have quite right early on figured out now. And I think that they could beat this team.
That's surprising as hell. I didn't, honestly, I love it though, because if the Ravens win, that only puts me up so many, especially we had another game like that where I was the only one to pick. Oh, Texans Patriots. Yes. Yeah.
So that evens it out. If you win this one, and then
my high horse.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Cowboys Giants, wasn't it?
Oh, Cowboys Giants too. Wait, no, I took Cowboys.
You both took Cowboys. I took the Giants.
I think it was the Texans game. Yeah, me and Gage are the smart ones that took the Patriots. You're the one that's going, on the edge of the cliff, taking the Texans here.
Listen, that makes it even better if they win.
Hey man, taking risks like that is how I've gotten where I am right now.
That's true. It's true.
The standings.
Hey, listen, the records are the same for a reason. I mean, they might be, I think the Texans have a chance. That's all I'm saying. Especially now that they don't have Stephon Gilmore, who's their leader on that defense? I mean, I don't know.
Are the Patriots 1-3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just even more. That's just even more reason they're not going to
only beat the Jets.
Oh man, yeah, no way. Bill Belichick goes 1-4. Stop it.
His reasoning is Stephon Gilmore isn't going to be the leader of the defense anymore. He hasn't played.
Dante Hightower. Dante Hightower is the leader of that defense.
Oh, I don't even know. It might be Matt Judon at this point. He might be their best player overall.
Matt Judon's definitely the best player. Actually, J.C. Jackson's really good though.
J.C. Jackson has been playing really well. I feel like without Stephon Gilmore on the field, he's really showing people that like he is a legit corner because everybody's like he's just guarding wide receiver twos all the time. That's why he looks so good. He's done well.
No, he is legit. Had 10 interceptions last year, right?
Yeah,
something crazy. Something crazy.
Double digits. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for us this time. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you appreciate all of the analysis and that we don't look like idiots this coming week. And we'll see you in the next one.
I'm looking forward to Luke looking like an idiot when it comes to the Patriots Texans game. That's just going to be so ugly.
I'm bound to end up on Instagram at some point.
Oh, 100%.
I'm bound to.
That is not going to work out well for you. But looking forward to that. And I guess we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, guys, and make sure to go follow us on all of our socials. I am, of course, Football Fan Zone. Gage is Extra Points, and Jake is Jake Maltese 3, as well as all the totally unqualified accounts, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, if you want to see our pretty faces. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. Thanks to you, crew.
Aw.